Hi there, I'm Champion Trader Kevin Davey, and today I have another candlestick entry that works pretty well. What is it? Let's get started. Okay, this one is a morning star, evening star entry. It's sort of the same, but a little bit different as an earlier video I did where it was a morning doji star and an evening doji star. So this is the same sort of thing, just without that doji requirement. So it's kind of a relaxed version of that. And here's an example of that from Investopedia. That's kind of what that candlestick pattern looks like. And there's only one variable to play around with here, and that's the length of the pattern that this evening star or morning star evolves over. Okay, so again, as in all my other videos, this is TradeStation easy language. This also works for the most part with multi-charts if you have that. It's a very similar language, and it's similar as in probably 95% or more of it translates from one to the other. Sometimes just some keywords don't translate. There's a function that's called morning star, evening star. I believe this comes with TradeStation. It might not though. I might have picked it up along the way, but I have this library of different candlestick patterns. And if you're a student of my course and you want these, just let me know. I can email them to you. All this does is it first activates this function to calculate, hey, is there a morning star? Hey, is there an evening star? And the answer is going to be no, there's neither. Or yes, there's a morning star. Or yes, there's an evening star. You can't have both on the same bar, but depending on what it comes out to be, then it will execute this if block. That's the lower part of the code. If it's a morning star, then you buy. If it's an evening star, then you sell short. Okay, pretty simple. Here's an example, and you can see it's a big bar here, so that's not what you would consider a doji bar, where the doji is a smaller bar. But this one says, hey, this was an evening star. I'm going to sell short. And you can see it. This particular trade with this particular settings, it worked for a couple bars, and then it turned out not to be a good trade. But not every trade is going to be a winner, and which is an important point, because a lot of people who just get into algo trading or trading in general think, hey, this should be profitable 90% of the time or 80% of the time, and if it isn't, I got to come up with something better. The reality is a lot of strategies that are good performers don't win that often, so just be careful with that. I use 19 values of length here, and so it's 19 iterations, and I want to see that most of them produce a profit for a given instrument and bar size. So let's say crude oil, 720 minute bars. I'm going to run 19 tests with that, and I want most of those 19 tests to yield a profit over the time period I'm looking at. That to me is a good sign of robustness, and it also tells you, it gives you some inclination that, hey, this strategy might work in the future. Counter that with, what if I ran 19 tests and one, a length of 6? That was the only one that made money, and everything else lost money. Would you think that's a very robust strategy or a robust entry? Would you think it's any good? Probably not. That's why I do this test many times. That's what I'm looking for. And it's not saying it's a finished product. It's just saying, hey, this could be a good entry. Maybe you should take a look. Here's the results, 2018, 2023. Works in 38 different markets. And it works best with the 200 and no, it doesn't. 240-minute bar. I was looking at the 1440. Works worst with the 1440, which is kind of unusual. Usually, the 1440 minutes bars work best for a lot of entries. But you can see ES, the day session ES, copper, wheat, lean hogs. These are all working pretty good. So it gives you a good kind of idea that, hey, this works sometimes in almost every major futures market. I believe I test usually around 44, 45 different markets. So this works in most of them. That's not too bad. And by the way, that's after slippage and commission. So that's a great first test, but obviously more testing is required. I'm not going to get into it in this video, but there's a list of a bunch of the tests that I run a lot of times. So just make sure you do thorough testing without overfitting. That's the real key to strategy development. All right, well, I hope you liked this entry. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know how your testing went. I'll be curious. Thanks for watching. I'm Champion Trader Kevin Davey. Have a great day.